Alright, you guys, my name is April Collins, and today I want to talk to you guys about the importance of reading to your children, especially during the earlier stages of their lives. Reading helps students or your kids advance. It helps with their expansion of their vocabulary, with reading comprehension. It also helps, especially because reading can be so difficult, and I think a lot of times we as adults or parents, we don't realize how difficult it can be sometimes because of the way that you have to break down the words and sound them out in order to put them together. And then, of course, we all know that there are rules when it comes down to the English language or any language when you're putting it together to read. One of the things that I've seen myself when working with my daughter, she's 6 years old now, and I used to read to her all the time, growing up even when she was in my belly. But one of the things that kids tend to have a problem with is they want it right now. And so that's why I say it's really important to just introduce them to that environment so that they can get comfortable with it. You know, when they're teaching them their letters and their sounds, the sounds of their letters. With a lot of children, like I said, such as my daughter, what she wants to do when she starts reading is she wants to automatically have it. And she wants to bypass the learning part of it, which is to try to sound her words out and put them together. And so you want them to become more comfortable. And though I think that we may not think about it this way, but building on that, teaching them to read, being able to write, it works with communication. It's everything. No matter what it is, whether it's mathematics, you have to still be able to read to understand what they're asking you for in that. And so when you approach a lot of these children, which I subbed for like 3-4 years, and what I found with a lot of my students is that a lot of my students were having problems or trouble reading. And what this did for them, it affects their self-esteem. It affects the way they behave in class, because a lot of times when we think that it's just them not wanting to do it, sometimes they don't know how. And something that happened to me that really touched my heart was I had a student, and he was probably like in the 5th grade, and he told me, he said, you know, I can't do this. And I just thought that, you know, he just didn't want to. And then as I got to know him more, I realized that he was having a lot of trouble. And so that's why I said it really does help when you introduce them to reading, you know, and just literacy early on, because it helps them become more comfortable with it, with the ideal of it, period, you know, because a lot of times if they don't know about it, if they don't know how to handle the environment or just learning, kids shy away from it. And I wanted to bring up this before I actually let you guys go, but you know, there are different levels of reading for different children, and you can start off with something as simple as this. You know, this is a Wheels on the Bus book, and what you find, I want to let you guys see it. And what we have on this book is, you know, and this is great for children, you know, who are even starting at 3, because what you have is you have sounds that go along with this book, and it goes along with the pictures. And so you can hit these different sounds, and it goes along with the picture, and it's letting them know about the, you know, it's interaction for the child. Also, the other thing I wanted to say is these things. These things, you can put books on these things, and even if you don't have that much time, they are read-alongs, and so they light up the word when the child is reading the story as they're reading it. And so that gives you something to go off of, something that you can work with, you know, just so that you can introduce them to this. Because, like I said, it's a big problem when we have our children, if they're making it to the 9th and the 10th grade, and they're able to slide by, but they don't have really well or really good comprehension of material, or they can't read and they can't write. And so, like I said, they shy away from success because they don't feel adequate enough for it. So I thank you guys for your time, and I hope that you guys have gotten something from this, and you guys have a lovely day. Thank you.